The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Hoke Show.
All right, everybody. Hey, we're back to the day off yesterday. Well, Super Bowl 2. Well, nothing was going on, but we are back here at the Seminole Hard Rock. WPT, that stands for World Poker Tour, in case you didn't know.
Now, we had a conversation about that last week, Mark.
In case you didn't know. Yeah, I haven't.
Did you find anybody?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me ask this, sir. Can I ask you a question real quick? We're doing an experiment. You're Mo, right? Okay, Mo. This is just a real quick question for you. Do you follow poker at all?
No, not really. Something
Okay.
on ESPN, I'll see it. But
Okay,
really.
don't look up. If I ask you what WPT stands for, what does that stand for?
World Poker Tournament.
Oh, you were so close. It's World Poker Tour. We're just seeing if people that don't know poker know what WPT is.
Oh, okay.
So that's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah.
So
He
it's
said
okay.
World Poker Tournament.
He said World Poker Tournament, which was incorrect. But that's okay. It's World Poker Tour. But thanks, Mo.
All right, man.
Good man. We're gonna, the security team. These guys are fantastic. I love them all to death. They are like my lifeblood in this
So what's
place.
Larry and Curly think?
I don't know. Now, be nice. No, but we did this with Ryan. Remember we were at the World Series and Joe Payne decided to do the experiment with Ryan Reese, that we asked poker players who was the defending world champion, and half of them did not know. At the World Series.
I'd like to do it. I'd like to go down there with Ryan Reese and ask just the ladies going by if they know who he is. Just the ladies.
Just the ladies. Just the
and
single
then ask
ladies.
him, if the ones that don't know who he is, ask him if they'd like to know who he is.
Well, that's a possibility. Ryan has had I on a side note, we had Ryan on the show a couple weeks ago, and I got to tell you, I think it's really cool that Ryan has the same girlfriend from before the World Series that he has after he won.
Yeah,
Same girl stuck around and has dealt with the lifestyle and everything that goes into what the obligations that he had. And I mean,
and he's stuck with her also. I mean, that's saying a lot for the guy too.
Yeah, I mean, because all of a sudden,
I'm sure a lot of doors opened up. I mean, there's Playboy models that would love to date a young millionaire like him.
That's a nice way to put it. Doors opening up.
Just doors. I'm just gonna say doors opening up.
Other than he's a very nice, young, handsome man, there were 10 million reasons for the panty droppers to show up. So there you go. So credit to Ryan and his girlfriend, and she's terrific too. I mean, I wish them all the best. I hope maybe we'll save a little Reese running around in a few years.
That would be funny.
That would be interesting. That is something, and I know we're totally deviating off everything I want to talk about today, but it is very interesting that we look at the poker boom that happened about 10 or 11 years ago, and we see all of these players that the young guys and some of the veterans, and where their lives have gone since that poker boom took place, and it's just fascinating to watch. Like the younger guys, that are starting to I hate to this is not sounding in a condescending way, but grow up, and starting to have families and do a lot of things outside of poker, and where their lives have reached, and where some of the people that we saw on TV, where they've ended up, good, bad, and ugly. It's really fascinating when you think about it. Somebody ought to write a 10-year retrospective on that. That would be fun.
I agree. Now, Mark, I don't know how much you follow along on things, but a former guest of ours, Ryan LaPlante, had a little issue with Texas Dolly.
We were gonna, and that is on the list today.
That is on the list. That's good.
We're gonna dance somewhat lightly on that one. But
old school bigotry is still around in the poker world.
That's it's something, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Because, there's, and I'm not excusing. But I want to. What I do want to do is I want to put perspective on it for some of the younger kids that don't understand what are people that grew up like that are my age and older thought of Bruce Jenner and why this is pretty shocking to a lot of us. And because I don't think that they really understand it because they know Bruce Jenner from being the Kardashian husband.
He's dad. He's dad to the Kardashians.
Yeah,
she said that herself.
Right, and people don't understand what Bruce Jenner was to a generation of people, and why this. So I just want to take a minute and put that in perspective. We're going to get into all that as we go through the show.
He was a track star in college and a basketball star before he hit the felt.
Yeah, so we're gonna hit all that a little later on the show because of course we got to talk about what's going on here at Seminole Hard Rock first before we get into all the other fun stuff, because we did have a little bit of a break, but still some championships awarded. The WP Deep Stacks event finished up. A lot happened down here, even though we did get a Sunday off. And man, there's a possibility I may luck box that I might not have to work. We just have to do the KLAV show on Wednesday tomorrow with Mark Herm, by the way, Diphthong coming on.
Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to that. Try not to drool over him too much, Nate. I know you're Mr. Online guy.
Hey.
So I got us an online guest.
That's good.
Of course, he's a great live player, too. Just won one of the events down at the PCA.
But, Mark, there's so much good news. You said online. Have you gone to WSOP.com and checked out Event 64 yet?
I have the list in front of me.
Oh, my God.
Nate, you got to understand. I
God.
prepare for this show. I don't just walk in front of the microphone. I just load up with all sorts of poker fantasticness. That's how we do it here on the Mark Hoke Show, which you can follow on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and, of course, you got MarkHokeShow.com.
A bracelet.
There is all sorts of. They've gone batty. They've just gone batty at the World Series of Poker.
It's a bracelet.
We'll get to it, Nate. Control yourself. Control yourself. Let's take a look at what's going on here at the World Poker Tour, Lucky Hearts Poker Open. Of course, here at Seminole Hard Rock, Hollywood, Florida. Lovely place down here. And I'll tell you what, by the way, I got to do a partial of the pub crawl. Ryan Lucchese's out here covering a final table, so I cannot get him on the show. Ryan won the pub crawl as we went through a bunch of the different places here on the Seminole Hard Rock property. Because there's the casino, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you have the Hard Rock Live area, which is where a ton of shops, bars, restaurants, the theaters, everything is. This is just a complex. You could literally come down here for a couple of weeks and not leave the property, even if you're not doing what I'm doing. It's an unbelievable place. So I want to give Ryan Lucchese credit because Ryan set up a 18-hole pub crawl, right? 18 different drinks had to be slammed for you to get a hole in one, and if you stopped, you lost a stroke, etc., and so on, spillage. Puking is an obvious disqualification. Ryan Lucchese got through his 18 drinks, and it was a big mix, including like massive frozen drinks and stuff. Ryan made it with 17 hole-in-ones, and he still only won by a stroke, by the way.
18 cocktails?
18, like beers, all sorts of different stuff. Mojitos. I slammed a mojito.
Just a mojito?
Yeah, I did 4 of the drinks because I got up a little late. I hadn't slept well the night before.
Is that considered like 8 over or?
Well, I don't know what my final score was. I know that the 4 holes that I did, I cleaned up. So it was just. And honest to God, though, I think Casey spent like $250 on drinks. So I was not participating all the way in that one. That's for sure. By the way, Tuesday also known as Secondary Seattle People Jumping Off Buildings Day. Here. we're going to talk about the Super Bowl too, and unfortunately, it's also It's going to be Mark Hoke Push-Up Day as soon as Miami Boss gets back into the back here in the series. He was quick to point that out to me on Facebook. I certainly appreciated that. Rat bastard! God damn it! 20 more push-ups on air for me.
That's good.
Because
I like you having to do push-ups.
I was sitting there ready to party it up, and no, not so much.
No party for the Hokester.
No party for me, no. Well, let's take a look at some of the events that wrapped up over the past couple of days are going on right now here at SHRPO. And I'm popping this up. By the way, Jonathan Duhamel is making his first world champ, making his first trip down here to Seminole Hard Rock. He's here now. It sounds like he's going to be hanging out for a couple of weeks. So
that's awesome.
So we're very excited to have the champ in the house. That should be a lot of fun. Event 10. Hey, I got to cover this Rockstar event. Wow, the $150 buy-in.
Ooh, I bet you there were a lot of entries there.
1,335 entries into that Event 10 $150 No Limit Hold'em re-entry tournament. And this one, and I got to tell you, this is a great chop story. I know you hate chops, but they are a tradition down here in Florida.
I do not hate chops.
Okay, well,
I just don't like people taking away their own advantage in a tournament. I think chops are a manipulation of inexperienced players.
Well, they love the chop down here. And things got a little deep in this one. And we got down to a final table on that. Two ladies got knocked out 9th and 10th, including the lovely Lois Bovitt, a great older woman who managed to bang her way through there. She had she actually early in the tournament on her first qualifying day just disguised a set of, or should I say, a quad sixes like a champ. It was beautiful. The guy thought she was totally bluffing, and he crushed her with it. She crushed him with it. Bovitt out there, as well as Anastasia.
It's hard to put somebody on quads.
It was not easy. Steve Anderson went down in that one. Everett Gilmore in 8th. And then we got down to 6. And like I said, we were getting fairly deep in this tournament. And when they got to 6, they started talking about a chop, right?
Uh-huh.
So Tavares Jackson out of Riviera Beach, Florida, good player. He managed to put a beat on somebody, and then it got reversed later, as we'll discuss. But Jackson did not want to do the chop. They didn't. They did the ICM. They ran it out. The clock was still running. It took about, by the time this whole discussion ended up, it was like 15, 20 minutes. So they pretty much lost a blind level. They come back, and Jackson says, "I want $1,000 more." Everybody else says, "Screw you," and they play on. So guess who takes 2 bad beats and gets knocked out of the tournament next?
Of course, it's always the person that says no to the chop.
Tavares Jackson out in 6. So then they get down to 5. So they start talking about the chop again. They run the numbers one more time. And John Fiore out of Raleigh, North Carolina, gets the numbers and says, "No, that doesn't sound right. Play on." And guess who was next out the door? John Fiore out of Raleigh, North Carolina, eliminated in 5th place. So we finally got down to the final 4, and they wisely chopped it up. Even though, I mean, honest to God, it was like the Lord of the Rings. You know how Frodo is at Mount Doom, and the ring keeps calling him, even though he knows he's got to get it off his finger and throw it away.
Oh yeah.
You know how that's how this championship was, because Asley Prosper, great player down here. When they set up the 4-way chop, they agreed to it, but then he said, well, who's getting, I want to get the trophy. And it's like, no, whoever's got the most chips at the end gets the trophy. And he was in second. Not by much, but he was in second. And he nearly doused the chop. He nearly did it. And thank God he had his Sam there. His wife was there and
Sam.
And kind of tackled him and was like, "No." And they ended up chopping it up. And Pierre Rodriguez out of Miami, Florida. And I got to tell you, I got to interview this kid at the end of the tournament, and he just turned pro a little while ago. And I have to tell you, what a rock star this kid was. I mean, I asked him a question, and it was one of the best interviews that I've gotten to do down here at Seminole Hard Rock. He was just very well spoken. Didn't stumble, just was terrific. And Rodriguez ends up winning that event. Picks up 26,684. Asley Prosper second, 22,835. Matt Friendly just had an unbelievable weird time the last 3 tables. Ended up finishing third, and he had to be thankful for that. 21,034 for him. And Jason Elin out of Miami, Florida, 17,877. So a pretty good chop there, especially like what happened to Tavares, because he had 21,000 plus locked up if he'd have taken the chop and ended up with 5,000 527. So a wild event there on event number 10, and we want to congratulate Pierre Rodriguez for his victory on that one. Event number 11, that was the $350 Black Chip Bounty No Limit Hold'em Single Reentry Tournament, and that one goes to Eliu Levy. 85 entries in that one, $17,000 prize pool. He picks that title up, and Lisa Levy made the final table on that. Boy, she makes a lot of final tables around here. No relation, I believe. But Eliu Levy wins $5,900 on that. Vasily Lischenko, and I'll tell you what, that guy is always trouble down here too. Very good player. $3,400 on that. Joseph Padalano, another talented player that we see a lot of late in tournaments here. I think that's his second, at least his second final table he made. Finishes third, followed by Anthony Lupo, Felipe Cavin, Sheldon Gross, Greg Fund, Lisa Levy, and Nancy Thomas. So two more women making the final table in event number 11 there as well, which is pretty cool. There are a lot of women that play down here, Nate. A lot of them. Good to see that. And they beat the guys up, too. It's pretty fun. So, anyway. Yeah. Thanks for the reaction to that. Nate,
the thing is Poker Night in America has been on, and it was the ladies' night down there at Seminole Hard Rock. So most of the guys that are out there know that it's happening.
It's dangerous down here. It's very dangerous. Event number 12, that was the $1,100 WPT Deep Stacks No Limit Hold'em Reentry Tournament. And we got a big winner in that one. Lawrence White takes that down and picks up $103,709 on that one. Ori Hen finished second, and that's a name we've been hearing a lot of. I believe his third final table. He had another one here with the seniors. His third final. This was his second of three final tables already in this series. I mean, how about that for a start to a series? Hen wins $61,459 on that one. Here we go. Claudio Piedrabuena finishes third. Nick Papillo in fourth. Stephen Diamantis in fifth. Carlos Loving in sixth. Brett Brader finishes seventh. Cody Ferguson, who was the overall chip leader after the first day of play, finishes eighth. And Stuart Greenbaum in ninth. And that was a great all-star field, too. Very good tournament. And Lawrence White picks it up, and he gets all the Deep Stacks extra stuff like those cute little monster headphones and the U trophy. I still haven't figured out why they haven't changed that logo yet. I mean, I know it was Deep Stacks U, but it's still a U. I don't know. Is it like a pointing down reverse Deep Stack? I don't know what it is. They're going to have to explain that one to me. I think they just like the U.
Yeah.
But they stuck with it, so good for them. That's tenacity. So that's event number 12. Let's see. And then the seniors tournament just wrapped up, and I'll get that recap here in a second for you. That actually just finished playing today. I believe that was like an 11 or noon start or something like that. Douglas Hartwick wins the seniors event as they got down to three players, and Hartwick, they take the chop, and Hartwick wins it. Errol Rosen in second, Larry Klur in third, and Ori Hen finished fourth. So a pretty good group of players banging it out down there. Let's see who else was in there. Scott Efron in fifth, Mark Duguay in sixth, and I think that those were the six players that wrapped it up today. So that one just done, and congratulations to Douglas Hartwick, your seniors champion here at the Seminole Hard Rock. And I just got informed Hartwick was finished ninth in last year's Lucky Hearts Poker Open main event.
Oh, wow.
So
he's doing well again.
He did. Yeah, he done dude well again. So, of course, we're still a long way to go to that main event. Let's see, what else do we have? Of course, last night we have another tournament restarting right now. That is the one I was covering, and I can't believe I'm going brain dead on this. $1,650 eight-handed No Limit Hold'em freeze-out tournament. And, man, I'll tell you what, Nate, we had this field just got sick. I mean, to tell you.
The flu? Measles? What do you mean?
the talent. Oh wait, no, this was. Hang on a second. No, that wasn't that one. That was just starting up today. Give me a second here. Let me pull my schedule back up. I'm getting to the blog here in a moment. Sliding down here. Seniors. No, yeah, this was a different. It was an 8-handed tournament, but this was a 570 buy-in. So I do apologize. 570 buy-in on this, but man, oh day, I could not believe how many great players were hanging around in this tournament. Let me sling down the blog here at shrpo.com. And by the way, you can also follow. We need Nate. Are you following SHRPO on Twitter?
I believe so.
Okay, if you're not, do it. Okay,
I better be.
But if you're not, and everybody out there, go follow it at SHRPO on Twitter. We would appreciate it. Let me give you some of the names that just got down to the final 16. Some great local players here. Yigal Hen, Vitaly Chaika got through. Iowa Schwartz, who was Noah Schwartz's brother, was in this group. Matt Stout, Daryl Fish, John Dolan, Barry Hutter in that just in the final 16. And then right before that, Aaron Massey was out. We also had, swinging down here, Carter Gill was in the last 20.
Big cock, huh?
That is a possibility. So, I mean, this, and it was just weird because the table draws, and I got pictures of this to put up, but how those table draws worked out as this tournament went on was just unbelievable. I felt so bad for Tim, managing editor at Bluff Magazine, because he ended up at such a table of death. It was unbelievable. So Tim was in the 8th seat. All right. So here's he was in the 7th seat. Let me give you 3, 4, and 6 that Tim was dealing with here. John Dolan. All right. So you get John Dolan.
Former November Niner.
You got Carter Gill.
Ooh.
Empty Space, and Daryl Fish. So 3 very talented professionals. Okay? So here's what happens. So then one of the tables breaks. And of all people that could have gotten in that seat, because, I mean, I put a picture up. I'm like, this seat is not going to be fun for anybody. Well, Matt Stout gets put in that seat. So Matt goes in there. So now it's Dolan, Gill, Stout, Fish, and Tim. That's heinous.
That's
in a 570. So then here's where it got really fun. All right? Because on the next table over, okay, because that table was the next one to break. So the next table over, here's your lineup. Barry Hutter, Aaron Massey, Zoe Kareem, empty seat. And somebody who, when they broke that table, was going to get put in that seat. Ended up being Daryl Fish. This is a 570.
That's a tough table.
That
for
is
any level buy-in.
Oh my God! I mean, I'm just sitting there watching this go down, and I'm trying not to laugh. I felt so bad for Tim, and this is a true story. And I put this in the blog too. But when I went over to that table, and when Matt sat down there, they were talking about the guys were double checking the breaking order of the tables, and I knew that one was the next one to break. But I was like, hey, I said, Turner, you know what? Maybe you should change the order and leave this one for last. And literally, Matt Stout and Tim both flipped me off. They both flipped me off. And Tim's was a long, sustained flip me off.
He's still flipping you.
He might still be, yeah. And he did go out in 34th, I think. And I think there were 5 tables left at the time. But Tim did the best he could. He actually got busted when he was ahead. So, but it was just an amazing event. And that, like I said, that final table is going on right now. Matt Stout on that table, as was Barry Hutter. Hutter came into that one in second place, and I'm actually just looking on the blog to see if anybody's out of there yet. It looks like just John Brody, so they're down to 9. So I mean, possibility maybe a Matt Stout Barry Hutter heads up. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be very fun.
Yep, they're sitting on the far side down from me, so actually I could look over and see who's in the tournament. But yeah, so a great field for a 570. Boy, can you just imagine what this is going to be like with some of the prelim events before we hit the main here, as everybody really starts rolling into town? Oh my God, great time! So, man, if you want to get down here and have some serious poker fun, this is going to be a place to be. Get down here to Seminole Hard Rock, and of course, you can check out the schedule at shrpo.com.
Get your practice in before the World Series, everybody.
Yeah, because this is going to be the place to do it for sure. We do have a couple other events. I think we have, let's see, kicking off today. Today is the $2,200 six max no limit hold'em freeze out. That one's starting at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So actually, that is underway too. That'll be playing out. I'm hoping it goes all the way tonight, but they usually set those guys up pretty deep in chips. So I'm not sure it's going to happen. But either way, I got the late shift, so I may get the day off tomorrow because that's the only thing really going on.
You might actually be able to see a beach, get some sand in your toes.
That is a distinct possibility. But we do have, of course, have
Go
our
out
show.
there and be a reflective something or other.
Yeah, like a magnifying glass. I'm that transparent.
Worst sunburn ever from Florida. Worst sunburn ever.
No,
oh my gosh.
I will never duplicate that sunburn that I got playing volleyball in college. No way. Will never happen. Let's see. So that one, like I said, that one going on today. The 570 finishing up today. Seniors is done today, and that means that we are just 1 day away or 2 days away from the main event. $3,500 buy-in. The World Poker Tour hits town, and for the Lucky Hearts Poker Open Championship event, $3 million guarantee. Should be a wild one. We've got 3 starting days on that: 1A, 1B, 1C. And an interesting conflict from what I heard. I believe WSOP has a circuit event at Palm Beach, and I think their main event day 2 is falling. One of their event day 2s is falling on the same day as the day 2 here. So this is going to be interesting. But obviously, there's a big difference in buy-ins here. Obviously we have the World Poker Tour and WSOP circuit going heads up against each other. We'll win out here, of course, because I'm here. It's the World Poker Tour. Mark Hoke Show. Also, some other events that are going to be kicking off here. Obviously, we're going to be dealing with the main event the first few days, and I'm sure a ton of qualifiers going on too. Sunday, we've got the no limit, a $350 no limit hold'em re-entry event, $50,000 guarantee on that. Also on Sunday in the afternoon at 3 p.m., $1,600 Purple Chip Bounty No Limit Hold'em, kind of the consolation prize tournament for all the main event players coming out here.
So good, though. I mean, a $500 bounty every time somebody gets knocked out.
And we saw some amazing. I mean, that tournament runs very deep, and it does get very crazy at times because of those
you
bounties.
knock out 3 people in one hand, you make $1,500.
Right. Your buy-in's just about back in your hand. So that's going on Sunday, and that's a 2-day tournament. Also on Sunday, we got a lot going on Sunday. That sucks for us. $150 no limit hold'em re-entry tournament. That is a 2-day. Technically, it's a 2-day event, but we got starting flights on Sunday and Monday, and then day 2 on Tuesday. So that's coming up, and then the following Monday, along with, of course, the main event going on, Pot Limit Omaha re-entry tournament, $30,000 guarantee, $570 buy-in on that. And, of course, on Tuesday, the last official event of the main series, $250 no limit hold'em re-entry tournament, $30,000 guarantee. But, of course, most of the guys are going to be on that big old $3,500 main event for the World Poker Tour, starting on Thursday with starting flights Thursday, Friday, Saturday, day 2 Sunday, day 3 Monday, day 4 Tuesday, and the championship. Day 5 coming up on next Wednesday, and then I'll be hitting the plane home. So there you go. So a lot going down here at the Seminole Hard Rock WPT Lucky Hearts Poker Open here in Hollywood, Florida. How about that, Nate?
Man, I wish I was there. I had the chance, but I'd rather be there to play. But I don't have any cash to play anyway.
Nate, this is the thing. You come down with me, we rotate in and out.
Oh, that's
as long as the blog schedule is
filled. The World
filled.
Series has to go like that if we're going to be in a booth, because I've got so many things I have to do for the World Series, Mark. I'm scared. I gotta clone myself between now and then.
We'll be releasing more about our World Series of Poker plans coming up in a bit. But hey, well, speaking of that, coming out of the break, we're going to talk about the World Series because the schedule has been released. And a lot of new events, a lot of excitement. So we're going to discuss that. And, yeah, we're going to get into that whole thing with our good friend Ryan LaPlante and Texas Dolly. So that's going to be an interesting discussion. So a lot to stick around for, everybody. So take a break, and we will be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for joining us. Once again, live here in Hollywood, Florida. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The poker action never stops at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We have millions of reasons for you to be a part of our annual Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open, January 22nd through February 11th, 2015. Time to go all in. Opening event starts January 22nd with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Play in any of the events leading
Mike's
up to
open,
the
Mark.
championship at the premier poker destination. The Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open Championship begins February 5th through 11th with a guaranteed prize pool of $3 million. The final table of the championship will be live streamed by World Poker Tour and is a main event tour stop. Visit shrpo.com or the Poker Room for registration and details. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood. Must be 21 to play slots and table games and at least 18 to play live poker. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hi everyone, Mark here. If you're a poker player like me and looking for something different and exciting to play, you should give open-faced Chinese poker a shot. It has just the right mix of skill, luck, plus a huge dose of the fun factor we're all looking for. There's a reason open-faced Chinese poker has everyone from the recreational player to the top pros hooked on its thrills, action, and unique social interactions you won't find in Hold'em. An incredible game like this has got to be worth checking out. And it's easy to learn, especially by using the ABC Chinese Poker app. Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on iTunes today and find out what everyone's talking about. And if you have questions about the game, tweet at ABC Chinese Poker and they'll be glad to help you along. So join the open-faced Chinese poker community today with the ABC Chinese Poker app, and we'll see you at the tables.
Join us for Zen Poker Mentoring's debut poker coaching event featuring poker superstar instructors Brian Rast and Vanessa Russo, plus poker reporter turned poker pro Christy Arnett. For unique poker mentoring you'll be able to use on and off the field. The event will be held February 21st and 22nd at the spectacular Meet Las Vegas Event Center, across from the D Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, downtown. The first 15 people to register get a free 2-night stay at the D. Not to mention, Zen Poker Mentoring is giving away a $565 seat for the newest and most exciting event in poker, the Colossus. For more information, visit ZenPokerMentoring.com and sign up for this one-of-a-kind event today. There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends. We supply everything else. Live it. Love it. Pokershop.com.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, and we are back. You know, I was perky for a while because I actually got to sleep. Failed at that last night. Good God. I don't know what it is. I need Ambien. But thank God, when you're listening to this show, you don't need Ambien. We are the best in poker news and entertainment around the world. Bringing it to you on KLAV 1230 AM, KLAV1230am.com. For those of you outside of Las Vegas, and of course here on the internet, our live coverage of events, just like what we do with the World Series of Poker, here on markhokeshow.com. Nate Dallin, the co-host on KLAV, along for the ride. What's up, buddy? Oh, hang on, and now I can't hear Nate. We're having fun here because I called home, and let's there we go. Now I hear you. Yeah, you just disappeared. Okay, so you're messing with me.
My bad.
Yeah. Okay. So see now I hate that because we had to change some settings because Nate was actually hearing me through a different method than all of you were.
That's strange, isn't it?
I called my wife and daughter on Skype the other night, and I had to switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, it happens.
You know, so Nate threw me into a panic, but it's okay. We're all good. By the way, did you see I got trolled pretty hard on the Twitter sphere the other night? Did you see that?
No.
Oh.
No, I did not. Because you're a Seahawks fan?
No. I'm an Eagles fan. Stop it. But no, some guy like at 1 or 2 a.m. in Las Vegas trolled me hard. Look, I know I'm overweight, and I'm working on it. Okay. But some guy just called me a fat F a couple of times, and said, I think his question was, what's it like to be the fattest F behind a mic? Comment. It's like, okay, whatever.
Well, obviously they haven't seen Rush Limbaugh.
Hey, no, actually, I think Rush is thinner than me right now.
Yeah, but he wasn't before. I mean,
hey, you can bust on anybody you want for what they do on the air, but don't bust on them physically. It's stupid. It's a waste. But anyway, here's the ironic part.
He's enough about his weight. He's working on it.
Yeah. So, but it was just funny because look, I know you don't have to tell me twice. I joke. How many times have we joked about being fat on the air, Nate?
I don't know. I make fun of you for being short. So.
Well, see, that's even better. It's like,
that's something you have no control over.
Yeah, don't waste your time trolling me. It doesn't work. But those tweets were gone, and actually, I think he got blocked from more accounts. But I didn't block him from any of mine.
Huh.
I welcome it. If you want to be stupid, I'll just leave it sit there, and everybody can see what a dimwit you are. It's all good. Morons. But I love it, getting trolled. It's all right. Hey, by the way, we got a lot going on with the show, and I want to make sure that we get to mention a few things coming up here and some of our sponsors before we get into what's going on at the World Series with the new schedule, and Nate and I will get to talk about that a little bit. Our good friends at pokershop.com are putting out 10% off all your poker supplies with the code HOKE when you go on the website. And I got to tell you, if you are looking for the best selection of poker supplies out there, I mean almost anything, decorations to cards, chips, tables, they've got it at pokershop.com. You need to go out there and pick that up today. So get over there, pokershop.com. Our good friends at Zen Poker Mentoring, we've got a big clinic coming up February 21st and 22nd at the Meet Las Vegas Event Center across from the D. downtown Las
email
Vegas.
if you're signed up.
Yeah, get in there because the
Big announcement.
first 15 people that sign up get free roomage at the D for 2 nights, which is a nice place.
And if they hit 30 people enrolled, they're giving away a seat to the Colossus.
Wow. So there you go. So that one, that's up for grabs. And I heard rumor we may be giving something away on the show too. So, and we're trying to book that show right before the clinic with Rasty, Russo, Christy, whoever, one of them, one or two, or whoever's available can just come barreling into the studio. Ace is welcome, of course, too. So check it out.
Ace is now going to be a coach also.
Oh, there you
Ace
go.
is a very great player. He did get heads up for a ring year before last over at Caesars, and it ended up getting beat on a big hand. But he plays so good, and he's been to every single WSOP Academy in the last 4 years. Of course, him being the former sales manager of the WSOP Academy, what used to be the WSOP Academy. Ace is also amazing. But Brian Rast and Vanessa Russo, who's no longer a PokerStars team member, it was just announced today that she was released from being a PokerStars team pro.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Whoa,
They have
there's
parted ways.
a little bombshell. Boy, there's not going to be many left over there.
No, there's not. They got rid of a lot of my PokerStars favorites, including Humberto Brenes,
Joe Cotta.
now Vanessa Rudo, Joe Cotta, Kara Scott stepped away.
Well, she stepped away from Party Poker.
Party Poker, right. But a lot of online people have been losing their sponsorships, and some of them have chosen to voluntarily go because PokerStars went with a gambling model.
Yeah, Victoria Corin, the big example of that one.
Yeah.
So but that's big news. So Vanessa Russo well, she's still going to be there. So make sure you come down and join us. We're going to have a great time. I'm sure we'll be doing a couple broadcasts from there as well. We'd love to see you down at the Meet Las Vegas Event Center, February 21st, 22nd. Sign up at zenpokermentoring.com. Then I got a pretty little pin up that's over here. Sorry, I got double. Let me straighten that out there. There we go. Because I got the Hard Rock on one side, I got the patch on the other, and I'm reversed on camera. So that's kind of messes me up a little bit. But check it out, zenpokermentoring.com. We also have Poker Night in America. Looks like I'll be heading to those next TV tapings in Philadelphia.
Oh, nice.
So looking forward to that in April. But, of course, they just aired the last episode of Ladies' Night. I didn't get to see it yet, obviously, because I was working and I'm tied up. They're all sitting on my DVR. Watch it. It's fun. And, of course, we want to thank Poker Night in America for having advertising for the show on there as well, which is awesome.
Very awesome.
Do appreciate that. So check it out, Poker Night in America. CBS Sports Network, Monday nights, 10 p.m., plus reruns all over the place. So make sure you check it out. Poker Night in America. Great show. Also, Dutch Boyd's book, Poker Tilt. Good read. Give it a shot there at Amazon. You can pick up Amazon.
You won't be able to put it down.
No, I'm serious. You won't. It's a great read. Amazon, Kindle, and of course, PokerTilt.com, the website. So make sure you take a look at that. We also have our good friends. Let's see, what else do we have here, Nate? I'm forgetting some. Oh, ABC Chinese Poker.
How can you forget that?
Because I mean,
what you were doing on break.
Burned in my brain. That's what I do when I'm waiting around for food. Around here on the plane, it's ridiculous. Check it out, ABC Chinese Poker on your iPhone or iPad today. Live it, love it, be a part of it. Laugh, cry, whatever you need to do. Check it out, ABC Chinese Poker. Awesome app. Nikolai, great guy running that as well. Also, just got announced a little while ago that we're going to be heading out with the PPC Poker Tour. Very excited about this one. We're going to be at Tampa Bay Downs May 15th through the 24th. So I get 10 days in Tampa right before the World Series. That should be conducive to rest. But looking forward to joining the guys with the PPC Poker Tour out there in Tampa. So it should be a great time. Please join us for an outstanding event. They run awesome tournaments. And getting all around the country, they have done a fantastic job. They actually have more tour stops than any poker tour out there. So check them out at ppcpokertour.com, and we'll see you at the North American Championships in Tampa. Whew. By the way, KLAV show tomorrow. Mark Herm. Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. KLAV 12:30 a.m. and, of course, in Las Vegas, KLAV 12:30. Whew, boy.
Mark Herm.
I'm excited. Because the thing is that we get a lot of the live players on, and it's sometimes the one thing about a lot of the online players is you don't know them. I mean, literally, a lot of them, a lot of the top online players in the world could walk in this room right now, and we're not going to recognize them. We're going to have no clue who they are. So,
as a matter of fact, the person leading online right now, he is a anonymous player from Russia. I can't remember his username right now on PokerStars, but he's up over 800,000 right now. He's been playing for a few years, but still nobody really knows who he is. And with $800,000 swings, you really want to know, well, who is this guy living in Russia?
Yeah, and
says he has bears running around his house.
Yeah, saw that. So it's going to be great to have Mark Herm on the show, and I think it's something we're going to ask him about is what does it take, what does it take to get some of more of these guys to come out from behind the computers and become more visible in the poker world, because a lot of them just prefer to stay out there. So
we're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Because the WSOP schedule includes a $1,000 WSOP.com bracelet event.
God, do you realize that to accept that bracelet, one of those guys is going to have to come out in the sun?
Yeah,
they may light on fire in Las Vegas in July or June.
I can't wait to have to come out and say thank you for the online bracelet. It's fantastic. I am one of the 5 stars on WSOP.com. If you look up in the Poker DB, I am a for you OTR on WSOP.com. I can't wait.
So you've been cheating is what's been going on.
Cheating?
I'm kidding.
Cheating. There's no way to really cheat here in Nevada without the Gaming Commission knocking on your door. There have been online players recently convicted of cheating online, Mark.
Yep.
And that wasn't here in Nevada or New Jersey. It was an international site that he was cheating on. Well, just look it up.
Yeah, just look it up.
Find out all about it.
Just look it up. Let's not give Lindsey Graham any more ammunition, shall we? He's a Republican. I'm a Republican. I can't stand the guy. He just drives me nuts. He drives me nuts. Well, let's take a look at some of the new events that are on this World Series schedule, because this is there's some game changers on here. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how some of these events.
They made the transition from tournament to tournament so smooth. They've made the beginning weekends are going to be the biggest weekends in poker history.
This one, of course, the first one is the Colossus, kicking off on the 29th and 30th. That is event number 5. The 565 buy-in, $5 million guarantee. Jesus, I'm predicting
$5 million guaranteed prize pool.
Yeah, I am betting over 10,000. I think it's going to be over 10,000 entries on that. I really do.
I think it's going to be over 15.
Wow, that's
5 entries. Or 4 entry days, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I think that's pushing it a little bit, but I definitely see 10. I definitely see 10,000 in that. So it'll be interesting to see how a low buy-in works out on that, and there's going to be another one in there too. But some of the other new events, event 6 on May 31st. Is a $1,000 hyper no limit hold'em with the WC called it a fast 2-day structure. I have not looked at the structure yet. But
the structure sheet's right on here. Yeah. So at WSOP.com, and that is such a great event. I love turbos and super turbos, and this hyper turbo is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that one, and I'll tell you what, that's one of the events to draw those online peeps, especially like the Europeans out, to get them out here the first weekend. That's not a bad idea. So we got that one coming up. Event number 42, a $1,500 extended play no limit hold'em. I wish they had a better name for that. They could have just called it the EP. I think that would have been cool. But it's 90-minute levels on that one. And I think this is a great event too, because I think at 50 calling 50-year-old seniors in the game now is a little weird. I mean, I'm 45. I was sitting here looking at the seniors event saying, in 5 years I'm going to be able to play this thing.
Then you qualify for the Legends series.
Well, that too, but
45.
But here it's 50 at the World Series, and here now a super seniors event where you have to be 65 or older to play. So how much fun is that? I hope Doyle comes down and plays it. I know that's not a typical Doyle event, but man, that would be awesome to see Doyle in that tournament. Could you imagine?
Doyle,
Man,
Doyle recently tweeted the reason why he doesn't play poker tournaments is because he doesn't like to go into a poker game expecting to lose.
well, he should play that. Could you imagine Doyle winning another bracelet? I mean, that...
No, I really can't. I really, really can't. When was the last time Doyle won a bracelet?
It hasn't been that long ago. You have to look that one up real quick. But that would be an opportunity. So we'll see. We'll see if Doyle comes out for the Super Seniors. Event number 53, $5,000 Turbo No Limit Hold'em 2-day event. So a little high buy-in turbo for you there. Even higher buy-in is event 60, a $25,000 high roller 8-handed pot limit Omaha 4-day tournament. Raise your funds. I want to play that. I'm in on that. Oh, and I skipped event 55. This one's going to be interesting because this is one that is basically like the double bubble tournament that PokerStars put on at the PCA and has been running on their site. It's a $1,500 DraftKings 50-50 no limit hold'em tournament where half the field gets paid. Now I don't know what the percentage is at the end. Down the PCA was 8%, so I didn't get to look at the structures on that. But we do have a 50-50 tournament in there as well. Event 65. Oh, they came up. This is another cutesy name. Oh, I'm sorry. Event 62. Excuse me. I'll skip one. The $1,500 Bounty No Limit Hold'em. I can't remember the last time there's a Bounty tournament at the World Series. I really can't. So this is going to be interesting. $1,500 Bounty No Limit Hold'em. Bounties are $500.
And it's $1,500 to enter, so $1,000 to the not even $1,000 to the prize pool. So that's going to be great, though.
That should be entertaining. And then once again, event 65, the $777 Lucky Sevens No Limit Hold'em. Once again, kind of a goofy name on the bracelet compared to some of the other ones, but
why wouldn't they make that a 7-card stud event?
Because they want people to enter it. That's why. $770 price point on that one. So we're kind of doing the Colossus with 565 and a 777 on the other end of the series. That's on July 3rd. Also on July 3rd, and this is one, oh man, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be highlight reel stuff. Event 67, the $10,000 Dealer's Choice Tournament featuring 19 variants.
19? Last year we had 16, right?
19 variants.
What did they add? What 3 games did they add to that 16 game variant they had last year?
Let me slide down. I'll find this on the schedule here because I'm curious too. Because I was doing a lot of stuff here before I got on the air, and I didn't really get a chance to take a look. Okay, here's your list. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
No Limit Hold'em, Limit Hold'em, 7-card Raz, 7-card Stud, 7-card Stud High Low, 7-card Stud High Low Regular. I don't even know what that is. I have to look that one up. Excuse my ignorance. Looks like Pot Limit Hold'em, Pot Limit Omaha, Pot Limit Omaha High Low. Big O is in there. That game's fun. Limit Omaha High, Omaha High Low, Deuce to 7 triple draw low ball, Ace to 5 triple draw low ball, Badoogie, Badusi, Deuce 7 no limit draw low ball, no limit, wow, no limit 5-card draw high.
Yeah.
Sorry, that makes me
Mount
giggle.
up, Cowboys. Let's play some cards.
Oh my God! And there were a lot of people calling that last year.
Yeah.
That turned out to be a useful game in the rotation.
Tell me Dramahaw got added.
No, there's no Dramahaw, thank God. But yeah, so there's your 19 game mix. 10K.
No limit Dramahaw would be just crazy. Or pot limit Dramahaw.
There would literally be people vomiting on the table. It'd be something else. So there you go. So that's your 19 events or 19 possible games being spread in the Dealer's Choice event. Wow.
$10,000 Dealer's Choice.
Okay, so now I'm going to put you on the spot here, Nate, because hopefully you're looking at the same thing that I am with this. Out of all those new events, and it looks like we've got 10 of them, what is the best one? If you had to pick one and clear the rest of them out of the calendar, which one would you keep?
Number 64, event number 64, the WSOP.com online.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that one. Sorry.
Oh, how do you forget? They're
'Cause-
giving
'cause
away
it's
a
below-
bracelet for
it's-
an online event,
it's
first
bel-
time in WSOP history, Mark.
It's
Don't
below.
forget.
It's below my list. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Yeah, we have an online bracelet being given away.
Now that is history, Mark. That is absolute history. You do not have to be in the Rio. You do not have to be in Las Vegas. You do have to be in the state of Nevada
Right.
to play. So it's going to be great. You can be in Reno. You can be in Wendover, Mesquite, Henderson,
Even
Laughlin.
Pahrump.
It doesn't matter.
You
Come
can
on
be
down.
you can be in Pahrump.
In Pahrump?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be in Pahrump. What's, gosh, Whiskey Pete's right there on the border.
Could you
in
imagine
Pahrump.
sitting in Pahrump and winning a World Series of Poker bracelet?
Yeah, right out in front of a little brothel. Or indoors in a brothel.
You could literally be. It's true. You could be literally sitting at the Bunny Ranch
Yeah.
and winning a World Series of Poker bracelet. Could you imagine that?
Oh,
That's
the
something.
celebration.
Oh dear God! You'd be a popular guy in the house.
They should be coming up with a stay and play package.
I think. There you go. There you go. We should give them a call. We'll do a little promo with them.
Heck yeah.
You know, that would be great. Could you like a 10 prize giveaway of a seat into this bracelet event, plus you get to play down at the Bunny Ranch.
Oh, that would be the best poker giveaway ever,
I am
Mark.
such a marketing genius. I swear to God. The fact that nobody's hired me yet, I have no idea why.
Don't take all the credit yourself. Come on now.
That's,
That would be so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to giggle, but that's pretty funny. So we got that one in there
Brothels
too.
all over Nevada. How many are there? 20?
Okay, well, I don't know, but actually, I think the numbers dropped considerably. But let's get away from that.
Okay.
So
Let's open one up.
let's throw the online tournament aside. All right, but let's get back to the question I asked. Out of all those events that are in the new events, if you had to keep one and throw out the rest, which one would it be?
Event 64.
No, take that one out.
Oh, no.
We're not. No, I'm saying it's there. It's good. Don't worry about that one. Give me the ones at the World Series.
The Colossus, number one.
Definitely.
Absolutely. The number one is the Colossus. It's a 565. It's going to bring in some players that usually wouldn't be able to. They can't afford to play $1,000 event because they got a wife and two kids and a car, and they're trying to keep up with the neighbors next door with the new snowmobiles and whatnots. This 565 event is going to bring people that are normally $50 tournament players. They're going to be able to take one win and go to the World Series and possibly take down a bracelet. It's going to open it up, let more amateurs come into the game, and then it's going to take all those people that win an event, and it's going to put that or just cash in this event. It's going to be able to put them in at least one other event with it. I'm sure the min cash should be at least 777, which would be my number 2 event that I'd want if I'm only going to play one event, because Nolan did say that most players come down, they only play one event. So if they're going to come early, I say come down, play the Colossus. If you cash, go home, come back and play the 777 so that you can play another event, have another opportunity to take down a bracelet without having to pay the usual $1,000 minimum that a bracelet would normally cost you to try to compete for.
Here's with the Colossus there, that's going to be one thing, but I'm intrigued by this 777 because there's I'm just looking at re-entries on this too. Let's see, because there's. I'm trying to see how many starting.
You can't get 2,100 chips.
Yeah, I'd have to pop this up. But one thing that's really intriguing about that event is that's on Friday the 3rd, which is right before the main event starts on
Right, where
on
most
Sunday.
people want to take the days off if they're going to be playing the main event because they want to relax.
But man, if you're thinking about going and playing the main event and everybody's coming out here, we got the new structure on that, and now you've tacked on a 777 right before that. That is
could bring
intriguing.
some satellite action.
That is very intriguing, to say the least. So I'm going to be interested to see what the numbers end up on that. But I think one that'll be a great test for the, if you cash at the World Series theory, is going to be the 50-50. I think that one will be a good test to see, who's right, who's wrong on that. Because if your goal is to get a World Series of Poker cash, there's your chance. I mean, you just have to beat out half the field. And even if it's getting your buy-in back, that still gets listed as a World Series cash. So, some aspiring players who never have a cash of the World Series may look at that tournament and say, "Hey, here's an opportunity for me to get that on my Hendon mob, and that's never going to go away." So, it could be an ego thing on that. I'm going to be interested to see how that one turns out too.
Is it lowering the glorification of having that WSOP cash on your
you could say that, but then you say, well, they drop. Now all of a sudden you're getting 15% of the players paid to the World Series main event. So is that lowering it? I don't know. I mean, personally,
I don't think that's
see
lowering it. I think the 50-50 is definitely lowering the greatness of it.
Yeah,
not everybody can score in a World Series of Poker event, whether it be anything from the dailies on up to the main event or even the $1 million buy-in.
I would be like I said, I would be intrigued to take a shot at that just to put it on the resume, because I know I can outlast half a field. I usually do.
A WSOP cash, because you are playing, whether even in the dailies, you're playing against players like I've played against Greg Raymer in the dailies. I've played against White Corkin. I've played against tons of very great players, whether it be WPT champions or WSOP champions in the $185 dailies.
So it's going to be a very exciting schedule here at the World Series. And they've modeled some things like they do at Seminole Hard Rock here at the Lucky Hearts Poker Open. So there you go. Should be fun. All right. So and of course we are here in Hollywood, Florida, at the WPT Lucky Hearts Open, Seminole Hard Rock, having a great time. And we're going to come back. We're going to hit that one more topic. Should be interesting. And we will be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around for what should be a very fascinating discussion. And before I go, I got to make sure, I got to look in the chat box, because to be very frank, we're light on the chat box. So if you want to get into the chat, this may be the time to do it, as we're coming up a feud between our good friend Ryan LaPlante and Doyle Brunson. Oh baby.
Well, not just Ryan LaPlante, but the entire gay and lesbian community.
Well, and more than that too. But let's take a break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show as we continue on here from Seminole Hard Rock. Stick around. We'll be right back.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top-quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bump stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends, we supply everything else. Live it, love it. Pokershop.com.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
The poker action never stops at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We have millions of reasons for you to be a part of our annual Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open, January 22nd through February 11th, 2015. Time to go all in. Opening event starts January 22nd with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Play in any of the events leading up to the championship at the premier poker destination. The Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open Championship begins February 5th through 11th with a guaranteed prize pool of $3 million. The final table of the championship will be live streamed by World Poker Tour and is a main event tour stop. Visit shrpo.com or the Poker Room for registration and details. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood. Must be 21 to play slots and table games and at least 18 to play live poker. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
It's time for you to check out RogueWire.com. News, sports, entertainment, and the internet home of The Mark Hoke Show. Don't wait. Let the sparks fly from your computer at RogueWire.com. And of course, RogueWire.com is powered by BlueRail.net. For over 2 years, The Mark Hoke Show has trusted BlueRail.net as their exclusive host, and you can too. Visit BlueRail.net for top-level web hosting, website building and maintenance, one-on-one customer service, and much more. It's time to get on board with your winning combination, BlueRail.net and RogueWire.com. How far do you want to go?
Join us for Zen Poker Mentoring's debut poker coaching event featuring poker superstar instructors Brian Rast and Vanessa Russo, plus poker reporter turned poker pro Christy Arnett. For unique poker mentoring you'll be able to use on and off the field. The event will be held February 21st and 22nd at the spectacular Meet Las Vegas Event Center, across from the D Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, downtown. The first 15 people to register get a free 2-night stay at the D. Not to mention, Zen Poker Mentoring is giving away a $565 seat for the newest and most exciting event in poker, the Colossus. For more information, visit ZenPokerMentoring.com and sign up for this one-of-a-kind event today.
Hi everyone, Mark here. If you're a poker player like me and looking for something different and exciting to play, you should give open-faced Chinese poker a shot. It has just the right mix of skill, luck, plus a huge dose of the fun factor we're all looking for. There's a reason open-faced Chinese poker has everyone from the recreational player to the top pros hooked on its thrills, action, and unique social interactions you won't find in Hold'em. An incredible game like this has got to be worth checking out. And it's easy to learn, especially by using the ABC Chinese Poker app. Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on iTunes today and find out what everyone's talking about. And if you have questions about the game, tweet at ABC Chinese Poker and they'll be glad to help you along. So join the open-faced Chinese poker community today with the ABC Chinese Poker app, and we'll see you at the tables.
There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, we come back as we continue on here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're live from the Seminole Hard Rock WPT Lucky Hearts Poker Open. And of course, you want to follow all the action. It's pretty simple. SHRPO.com. Twitter at SHRPO. Hashtag SHRPO. Nate, what's the number? What's that call code? Those 5 little letters you got to remember. What is it?
SHRPO.
There you go. And follow them on Twitter. We want Twitter followers on SHRPO, just like we do on Mark Hoke Show. But we want them on SHRPO too, so please.
All right, Mark, enough of the soft stuff. Let's get to the hard stuff.
Okay. Hey, there's, by the way, a little bit of news we got to hit before we do that. Phil Ivey, by the way, at the Aussie Millions.
Oh, what a beast.
Wins his 3rd Aussie Millions $250,000 challenge title.
Out of the last 4 times played, he's won it 3.
Ivey beats out Mike McDonald, Doug Polk, Scott Seaver, and Eric Seidel. Wins $2.2 million plus 5,000 Aussie dollars. Are you kidding me? What is this guy doing? Also,
and Seaver, How many bullets did this guy fire?
I don't know. How many did he fire?
At least 3 that I know of.
Good God. What is going on with these guys?
How do you fire 3 bullets
They could bankroll one of
$250,000 buy-in?
They could bankroll one of us for a year for that easily. Oh my God, unreal!
That's like 6 years of my play. Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous. Also in the news, by the way, I don't know if you saw this story, but you all remember what we had? Did I just go y'all? I'm down south too long here. Paul Foy and that gambling ring that was busted up at Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, there's been judges paid off, but they still say they can appeal. I didn't say that, did I?
The search warrant, you did. The search warrant used in his case was, quote, fatally flawed, according to U.S. Magistrate Judge Peggy Lean, who determined the search warrant affidavit used, this is per Poker News, by the way, used to bust the illegal gambling ring in Las Vegas lacked probable cause. Lean also found that sworn statements made by FBI agents to obtain the warrant were, quote, false and misleading.
So the bad boys style claiming that you're somebody you're not to enter somebody's hotel room doesn't work.
They and for what they, and this is interesting what they did. The Foys argued that the FBI violated their Fourth Amendment rights by using, quote, flimsy evidence to convince a judge to issue a search warrant. Now note, there was nobody saying they didn't do it. I just want to throw that out.
No, the attorney did say.
Well,
they are innocent.
This was their major point, that the warrant was flawed, which always kind of rings a little bell with me.
From the attorney saying my clients are innocent.
Well, of course,
and
but
the evidence should be thrown out.
But they're not screaming that. But they weren't screaming that my clients were innocent. There was no crime committed. There's no way. There was. The warrant should be thrown out. Oh, and by the way, we're innocent. The argument stems from the fact that days before the raid, the FBI purposely cut off the internet at Caesar's Palace and posted technicians to collect evidence inside private villas. Then this evidence was used to secure the warrant. So the prosecutors now have 14 days to respond to this. So this is going to be pretty interesting. And of course, the Foys are facing trial, but 5 other defendants, including Richard Young, have already pled guilty, while the sixth defendant had his case dismissed. So this is going to be a very entertaining story to follow in Las Vegas with the Foys. Yeah.
And they tried playing poker, and they were denied to even play poker while they are considered out on bail.
Yeah, and Ivy's the one that posted the bail on this, so Phil Ivy's got a little skin in the game on this one.
It wasn't just Ivy, was it?
Yeah, I know, but
also?
But Ivy put in
a ton of it. Yeah.
$2.5 million.
Yeah, but I'm
Andrew Roble and
positive that he's already paid.
Roble was in there too. But
that's right. Roble did.
And some other players, but yeah, wowie. So that'll be interesting. And then we get into the controversy that happened on Twitter yesterday, and of course we were talking about the whole thing with Bruce Jenner, and we discussed it momentarily on the show a few days ago, but now somehow one of the icons of poker managed to throw his hat in the ring, literally, on this one, as Doyle Brunson made some statements and got into a little bit of a Twitter war with a good friend of the show, and a guy that's been a friend of mine for a long time, Ryan LaPlante. And I'm just going to pull Doyle's Twitter up here real quick, because this one got ugly, and boy, did it sparked a lot of debate, to say the least.
Doyle even retweeted OTR Kara saying that where she's like, I hope Doyle doesn't get me started on this.
Yeah. So here are some of the tweets that Doyle put out. At Kara OTR, I remember the pride I felt when Bruce Jenner ran around the track waving an American flag after setting records in the Olympics. Bruce's transition to a woman was confirmed today. He still may be some people's hero, but not me. And then that was where Ryan got in on this. And sorry, clear that. Let's get rid of that. Thank you. Sorry, bear with me for a moment. And then. Hang on one second. I'm sorry. What's up? Yeah, I'm still on right now. Okay.
So yeah.
I got notified something's going on in the tournament, so we'll get into that in a second. But anyway, so a lot of people started firing back, and Ryan said to Doyle, her, and referring to Bruce Jenner, coming out as trans should make you have more respect for them, not less. And then said, please read up on it. And that resulted in Doyle saying, I can't imagine the thought that athlete was a woman. Sorry, but that's how I feel. Oh, by the way, I'm going to block you, and did. And there was a lot of other comments that, came out on this subject. And, the one thing, and honestly, I was thinking about this morning in one of my insomnia fits, because I saw this and I was reading, and then I was on Ryan's Facebook page. We're pretty, good friends. And I saw some of the comments that got made. And, the one thing that I want to put out, because, and everybody knows where I stand on this. I mean, I've been a huge backer of Ryan and Jason Somerville and Vanessa Selps. I do have a brother that's gay, so I'm kind of in the ball game on this one. But I want to put some perspective into this of why this is so shocking to people of like my age and a little bit and older, because when back in 1976, when Bruce Jenner won the decathlon in the Olympics, winning the decathlon in the Olympics, not as big a deal as it was back then, but when you won that, you were considered the greatest athlete in the world. And when Bruce Jenner won that gold, it propelled him to a place of superstardom in sports. And I was trying to look back and see, what athletes in the 70s would be in that category of how revered they were for what they did. And boy, it was hard finding people, because you had Muhammad Ali, who was probably the biggest one. But then you got into maybe like the Pittsburgh Steelers football teams and a couple others. Mark Spitz won all those gold medals. But I really couldn't find too many people that were of that status. I mean, and then Bruce Jenner, of course, became a well-known broadcaster, personality. I mean, everybody loved Bruce Jenner. And
still do.
And still do. And, to put it in perspective today, because I don't think that people understand that are, people that are like 30 and under probably have a clear understanding of what Bruce Jenner, where Bruce Jenner's place was in pop culture at that time. He would be alongside a Michael Phelps, a Michael Jordan. I mean, he was in that category. The All-American boy wins the decathlon, brings it home. He's the world's greatest athlete. I mean, that's where he was. I mean, he was everywhere on TV. Was one of the most sought-after broadcasters, no matter what the event was. And, so this guy was an icon among, a Tiger Woods-ish kind of status back in the 70s. So for him to make this change at 65 years old is pretty shocking to people. I mean, I saw it and I just said, "Whoa, this is incredible." It's huge.
Well,
it's huge news. And and
look at David Carradine and how big he was in the 70s. He was so ashamed of his wanting to be a woman, he ended up hanging himself dressed as a woman in a closet.
Right. And I mean, kudos to Bruce for taking this. I think that it's kind of sad, because the legacy. I think that unfortunately it gets tied into the Kardashian legacy a little bit here, because people now know him as he was the Kardashian dad. They don't know what he meant to people back then. So So I think that one thing that people have to understand when they look at this story is they have to understand the perspective of what Bruce Jenner was to people, and how that image is now, and I'm not, I don't want to say torn apart in a bad way, but it's completely different now. It's a new ball game there, baby. I mean, and doing that at 65 years old is a very bold step. So I wish him all the best. I hope he's happy.
Well, we know he's going to look fabulous in whatever he wears. He's got some great counselors there.
That is a good point. But I disagree with Doyle's stance on it. I think it's wrong.
But that's old school. I mean, he's a big follower of the Bible. Even Daniel Negreanu tweeted, there are 6 things in the Bible that are against homosexuality and blah 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 blah. I mean, old school people that follow religious beliefs believe that homosexuality is wrong, and that's another big thing about why religion is so wrong in today's society.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but because there are a lot of good things about religion too. But what I would say is, and this is the one thing that
Killed
really
more people than oil.
Well, that can't blame. Well, you can't blame that on me. But anyway, but I will say this, and one thing that really upset me when I was on when I was looking at the comments that were on Ryan's page about this subject, because he mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, that's a legit mention on that. I think I'd discuss it too. Was the people out there that were using words, and I don't want to use them on here because we're at the Seminole Hard Rock and got to keep it toned down a little, but they like Republic C's, that nasty little C word. And people are ignorant. Well, look, I'm 45 years old. I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. I have many gay and lesbian friends. I sympathize with this, but to say that about me is just as bad. And I didn't appreciate that. If you don't want people to generalize going one way, don't do it the other way either. That's not fair. It's you have to judge an individual by an individual. You don't judge them by a group. And so I was pretty offended by some of the things that I read on there too, that we're saying about people that have the same political beliefs that I do, that we're all gay bashing, homophobe, racists, and it's not fair either. So if you want to have a legitimate debate about something and a legitimate discussion, you can't do those things either way. You can't do it. It's just not right. And Doyle's going to catch a lot of criticism for it. Like I said, I disagree with what he said.
There's a lot of respect lost in that single tweet. Even Jesse Sylvia.
I saw it. Yeah, Jesse was in on that.
Adam Schwartz, you're also a hero to some, Doyle, but not me. After this, I mean, that's just.
Yeah,
I guess the old school guys don't realize that you no longer have just a good old boys club when you're tweeting. It's no longer just you and your buddies. When you're tweeting, it goes out worldwide. And the things that you say on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is that you like for social media, you can hurt people's feelings, and you can make yourself look like a total jackass.
Yes, you can. That is for quite sure, to say the least. So, yeah, it's one of those things where, like I said, I just wanted to put a little perspective on it for so people understood what Bruce Jenner's place in society was, and why why this is so shocking to people my age and older to see this. I just think it's an important perspective to understand. So there you go.
And Ryan brings in a lot of people that aren't a big poker fan, and they've probably only heard good things about Doyle Brunson. But when he does things like this, and now Ryan is big on Twitch. He's one of the most watched players on Twitch right now, and wow, to get bashed by potential is bad.
Yep. So now to wrap this up, some quick updates here from Seminole Hard Rock. We do have a couple eliminations in that 570, as Joe Ebelhar was knocked out in 9th place. Matt Stout is gone. He was eliminated in 8th. So I believe Barry Hutter's still in the house down there, or at least last time I checked. Maybe not. I know Al's doing some updates down there. But here is some information about the 2200 going on. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
65 entrants have gotten in. Here are some of your names that have gotten in there. Of course, we mentioned Jonathan Duhamel was here in the house, or here at Florida, and he is in this event. All right. Now remember, once again, there's 65 players in this. Just some of the players that are here. Jason Mercier in the field. Noah Schwartz. Matt Waxman. Carter Gill. John Dolan. Ian O'Hara. Brian Hastings. Darryl Fish. Joe Kuther. And by the way, Kuther, Cliff Goldkind. Let's see. Jacob Baisley. Shannon Short. Chance Corners. Will Fiella. All in this field. Are you ready for a showdown?
That's... oh. And that's just a $2,200 buy-in?
$2,200 buy-in.
Those are all just crushers that are in there.
Yep.
How many of those names played in the $1 Million One Drop?
I don't... Oh, Mercier did.
for sure.
I don't think anybody else did, but yeah, and it was interesting that
Even
570. Kuther was in that field too, and he actually ended up on that table of death. By the way, I forgot to mention that because at one point that table was Dolan, Gill, Stout, Fish, and then Tim, and then Kuther was on that table too. And Goldkine was in that field along with many others. So I mean, this is going to be a sensational tournament. As this one goes on. Of course, once again, that structure is very deep, so probably won't see a lot of eliminations tonight as that one goes along. But wowee, how about that?
Wow.
And you can follow along at shrpo.com. Keep an eye on it. Not going to be a bad day here to come down and watch some poker at Seminole Hard Rock. As of course we get ready for the main event starting off here on the 5th, just 2 days from now. And, of course, we're going to have Mark Herm on the show tomorrow on KLAV 1230 AM and KLAV 1230am.com around the world. So make sure you join us for that. Oh, man. Well, we covered a lot of ground.
We did.
Jiminy frickin' Christmas. That was fun.
An hour and a half show.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So, like I said, that's going to wrap it up for us here. And like I said, I'll be on the blog duty starting around 6 o'clock Eastern tonight, so you'll get to see some of my handiwork on shrpo.com. And, of course, we'd love to get you on there on Twitter, SHRPO, and hashtag us at SHRPO. And, of course, on our Facebook page, The Mark Hoke Show, Twitter, Mark Hoke Show. We'd love to have you join us and be a part of the family. Man, there's a lot happening. There's more in the works than you could possibly know, kids. Some more trips possibly being lined up and all sorts of fun stuff. So, want to thank you for joining us, Nate. Good show.
Good show. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And
I'm on tonight on Tilt Radio as well.
Well, nobody cares about you. No, I'm kidding. Listen,
Thanks.
go listen to Nate. He's all right. So
6 p.m. on the grind.
All right. So we will see you guys back here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, actually, no, we won't at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific with the Mark Hoke Show on KLEV 1230 a.m. So thank you for joining us, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, and get down here and play some poker at the Seminole Hard Rock WPT Lucky Hearts Poker Open. We'll catch you later.